I'm sorry. I cannot begin without setting the context. In this vast labyrinth of life, we often find ourselves in a crossroads, faced with requests, demands, and pleas that either align with our capabilities or go beyond them. Sometimes, the requests are as simple as requesting a cup of sugar from a neighbor or as complex as solving an inscrutable puzzle. However, there are times when we are faced with requests that we simply cannot fulfill. Do you remember the feeling of being asked something you can't do? It is a complex mix of disappointment, frustration, and guilt. The sinking sensation in the pit of your stomach intensifies as you muster up the courage to say, "I cannot." It's a simple sentence, yet it holds an entire world of implications. When we say, "I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill this request," we're not merely expressing our inability to perform a task. Instead, we're acknowledging the limitations of our capacities, the finite nature of our abilities, and the boundaries that we must respect. This simple statement is a testament to our understanding of our own selves, our strengths, our weaknesses, and our ability to say no when necessary. In the labyrinth of life, the strength to admit our limitations is as important as our ability to overcome challenges. It takes a truly strong person to acknowledge their inability and still hold their head high. It is not an admission of defeat, but a declaration of understanding, an acceptance of the fact that we are not omnipotent beings. And in this acceptance, there is a kind of quiet strength, a silent power that reverberates within us. The statement reverberates, echoes against the walls of our consciousness, each echo resounding with an amplified understanding of our limitations. But these aren't limitations that stifle us or hold us back. Instead, they teach us about our capabilities, about our capacity, about the distance we can travel, and the heights we can reach. They define us, shape us, and transform us into better versions of ourselves. Each word in that sentence, "I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill this request," is a lesson in itself. The phrase begins with "I'm sorry," an expression of regret, an acknowledgement of the disappointment that might be caused. "I cannot" is an admission of our limitations, a statement of fact about our abilities. "Fulfill this request" speaks of the task at hand, the deed that lies beyond our grasp. Each word, each phrase is a testament to our acceptance of our limitations. This request could be anything. It could be a plea for help, a demand for an action, a cry for understanding. But when we say, "I cannot fulfill this request," we don't deny the validity of the request. We merely acknowledge that we're not the right person to fulfill it. The phrase, "I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill this request," is not a sentence of defeat. It's a declaration of self-awareness, self-understanding, and self-acceptance. It's a phrase that encapsulates the essence of human limitation and yet also the power of human understanding. So the next time you find yourself saying, "I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill this request," remember that it's not a sentence of defeat, but a declaration of your understanding and acceptance of your limitations. Remember that in acknowledging your limitations, you're also acknowledging your strength, your ability to understand, and your ability to accept yourself as you are. "I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill this request."